doing is we put up big barriers. We put up big fences around Wits and said we're apart from the society. And what we said a couple of years ago is that's not what a university is meant to be. A university is meant to be integrated into the society. And so this is part of a project to bring down fences, to integrate Wits into Braamfontein, and to re-establish and rethink Braamfontein. And if we rethink Braamfontein, it's about creating a cosmopolitan environment where people come together in this place and speak to where we are. You know, we can't be at the bottom of the African continent without having a reimagined identity of Braamfontein as a place where Africa comes together. And so, you know, Ashil Mbembe, one of our professors, has this really wonderful term called Afropolitan. If you like, it's a cosmopolitan world, but it's cosmopolitan with an African flavor. And that's who we should be. That's where we're about. And that's what Braamfontein is really about. So what we're going to do is we've got Tshimologong, and that's a signal that I'm talking too long. It's about having Tshimologong. You saw we have an IBM research lab directly next door. There's other institutions that we are currently engaging with. And we're going to create, if you like, a suite of technology institutions at the heart of this Braamfontein. And then around that, we're bringing in accommodation for students, for postgraduates and undergraduates. There's big accommodation coming up around here. And then we're bringing in a whole series of apartments for staff, more senior staff, and more junior staff. And we're controlling the environment. We're controlling what happens in the ground floor. We're ensuring that there's pubs and restaurants and coffee shops and galleries and bookshops, even some clothing shops, because that's what students like. But we're creating an ecosystem where top students and top staff can think, can play, can have recreation and engage and live. And that's what the purpose of Braamfontein is. And the idea is, as we reimagine Braamfontein, it has a ripple effect across the railway line into reimagining the city. And that's particularly important for us. It's effectively what we want to do, or what we have to do. And that's really, really special. And it's something that we're particularly excited about. And so what we're seeing is now this suite of technology institutions. You saw there's a coffee shop being there around. There's a couple of restaurants opening up. We're going to be putting up, within the next month or 2 months, we'll be announcing new accommodation arrangements here, both apartments, but largely in partnership with the private sector. And it's a reimagining of Braamfontein. And so those of you who are old enough to remember Braamfontein in the 70s, it's the coolest place to be. It's a recreation of what it means to be cool in 2016. Ultimately, this is all about social inclusion. We're recreating Braamfontein in urban revitalization, and going after jobs is about social inclusion. That's what this is. It's about addressing inequality in our world. It's about recreating South Africa, and it's about recreating its cities. We're thinking about expanding this even further than Wits. So we're going to fix this up. Wits is saying we're going to use our lever to reimagine Johannesburg. We're not going to talk about it. We're doing research about it, but we're going to actually implement some of what we talk about. But more than that is we're not going to simply do it with Johannesburg or Braamfontein. That what we're beginning to talk about with Ryerson and the Human Resource Development Council under the Deputy President is to try and see if we can multiply Tshimologongs around the country. And so we're talking about the historically black universities. And we're partnering with the Human Resource Development Council to see, can we start doing similar kinds of things? So that, and these kinds of things emerge in Thohoyandou, and they emerge in Alice, and they emerge in Limpopo, and in Zululand, so that we recreate and we begin to replicate what this is about. Because that's what we said Wits is about. You know, ultimately, Wits is really about changing our world. And Tshimologong is effectively about changing our world, both in Braamfontein, but across the country as well. So we're really particularly excited about it. Thank you for coming to this launch. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys.